I taught class last night and then totally forgot to hit record. So I get all the way done with class and Anne goes, oh yeah, I was going to tell you, but we just had such a nice practice. It didn't really matter. Okay, so we are going to start on our backs. And if you have your yoga block, your towel, your pillow, whatever you're using this morning, just have it somewhere off to the side where you'll be able to access it. We're going to use it like a pillow under our head at some point down here. So start by just coming down onto your back, feet in a nice even position. So maybe about shoulder, maybe slightly wider than shoulder distance apart, but you don't need to come to constructive rest just yet. Let your knees be away from each other. Let your hands rest on your belly and then just kind of give a second to sort of snuggle your shoulder blades in, make sure that your back, your ribs, your shoulders, and your tailbone feel like they're really good and comfortable on the ground. And then once you feel like you've kind of got a good sense of settling in, your back is comfortable, your shoulders are in a good place, we're going to bring our hands, locating those little front hip, protruding hip bones, and then walk them in about 2 inches. And we're just going to put a gentle pressure on. So pushing your fingers in, but with a soft amount of pressure, just so you can kind of feel in to your soft belly. And then as you feel in towards your soft belly, you're going to let your right knee drop in a little bit and then bring the right knee back to where it is. And then let your left knee drop in just a little bit as if you were going to let it go to constructive rest and then pull it back in. And then just take a few times like this, dropping one knee in and then the other. And as you drop your knees in with your fingers in that soft tissue, about 2 inches in from your hip bones, see if you can just kind of feel a little bit of gentle movement in the muscles that are on the inside. Take one more time each side. And then we're going to let both knees come into constructive rest. And then that area that where you might have felt movement, and no right or wrong if you didn't feel it, but if you felt that movement there or get the idea of what the area that we're at least trying to locate, see if you can now let those places soften, let your arms come out at your side. So with the knees dropped in towards each other, let your knees support, and then invite a sense of letting go through the front of your hips, letting go through the front of your belly. And then once you feel like you've found that sense of letting go, not too much efforting in your body, releasing any gripping in your toes, your hands, your shoulders, anywhere that you might have been holding a little bit of tension, if you can let all of that go. Once you've found that letting go sensation, then just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. So take an inhale through the nose, preferably, but if you're breathing through your mouth, if you're congested, then just notice the breath coming in. Notice your breath going out. Take one more moment here, just noticing your natural rhythm of breath. And then before we move away from this place, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Cool. And then with that intention set, you're going to start by just turning your head gently side to side. Does not need to be full range of motion. We just want to invite some gentle movement into the cervical spine, a light massage into the back of the head. And then here you might just notice your energy level. So are you feeling really revved up and ready to go? Or are you feeling like a little bit of slowness will do the trick? No right or wrong, but just notice where you're personally at this morning. Take one more turn of your head side to side. And then as your head comes to center, we're going to bring the arms into our square, or I drain them of genie arms. So catching hold of the elbows across the chest, and then start to pull the elbows gently side to side. So one elbow comes across the midline and then go the other way. Head's going to stay in a neutral position. So we're going to keep the head looking upward towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable. Take one more pull of the elbows side to side, and then we're going to release arms into cactus or goalpost position. So our elbows in line with the shoulders, backs of the arms resting on the ground, and then take a second to notice your ribs, your solar plexus, and the front of your chest. Can you let the backs of your ribs get nice and heavy? Take a big inhale. Slow exhale. Turn your head to the right. Take one good breath. Turn your head to the left. Take one good breath. Bring your head back to center. Bring your arms back into I Dream of Genie arms, but this time, if you can, switch the cross in your arms. So let the other arm come on top. And then right back to those pulling of the elbows side to side. Trying to keep your back and your hips and your feet nice and heavily grounded on the floor. So most of the movement is coming out of thoracic spine and the shoulders. One more pull of the elbows side to side. And then when you're ready, release your arms into cactus or goalpost arms. Turn your head to the left. Take one good breath. Turn your head to the right. Take one good breath. Bring your head back to a neutral position, and we're going to take 3 glides of the arms up, like you're taking a good morning stretch, but just with the arms. So glide your hands up, keeping the backs of the hands connected to the ground if you can, and then pull the elbows back down in line with the shoulders. Inhale, glide your hands up, keeping the backs of the hands connected to the floor if you can. Exhale, pulling the elbows back down in line with the shoulders. One more just like that. Inhale, glide your arms up. Exhale to pull the arms down, and now we're going to reach the arms all the way down so that they're coming out about 45 degrees away from the body. Move right down into the legs. Take some windshield wipers with the knees. Go as far as feels comfortable. You might start small and then slowly increase your range of motion. Nice. Take one more rock of the knees side to side, and then we're going to start to roll over onto the right. So think fetal position. As we roll over onto the right, you're going to want to find your yoga blanket, your rolled up towel, or your yoga block, whatever you're using this morning. On this side, I'll be slightly awkward just because I'm not going to rest my head as comfortably due to my microphone. So we're going to place your tool, whatever you're using, where you would use a pillow. So it's going to be a sideline position, fetal position. Whatever you've got is going to be under your head. Bottom arm is going to come straight out from the shoulder. Top arm is going to reach. So think palm to palm, and we're going to keep our hips fairly stacked here. So start with the arms. We're going to take that top arm, draw a nice, big, generous circle. Circle around in one direction. 2 more times go this way. Awesome. And then the next time you come palm to palm, we're going to switch directions. Take those big, giant circles, go the other way. One more time around. Nice. And then we're going to take it into a little twist. So we're going to reach that top arm back, let your gaze follow. So you're going to turn your head as well, and it'll only go so far, and then just let the hand be nice and heavy. Take a big inhale. Slow exhale. And then as you rotate back, you're going to let that top arm rest down on the hip now. And now we're going to focus on the shoulder. So just make sure that your head feels like it's in a comfortable position. And then we're going to take that top shoulder. Everything else is going to stay as stable as it can. You're going to draw the shoulder up towards your ear, and then reach your fingertips down like you're pulling the shoulder away from the ear. Draw the shoulder up, slow movement here. Reach the fingertips down, then the shoulder draws away. One more just like that. Pull the shoulder up, reach the fingers away as the shoulder comes down, and then let your shoulder be in a neutral position. And now we're going to take the shoulder forward. So we're going to hug the shoulder forward. It's not a big movement. Pull it back to that neutral position. Draw the shoulder forward, slow and steady. Bring it back. Draw the shoulder forward. Bring it back. And now we're going to come to that chicken wing. So we're going to draw the shoulder back like you're trying to make a little chicken wing, and then bring it back to neutral. Draw the shoulder back. Bring it back to neutral. One more just like that. Draw the shoulder back. Bring it back to neutral. And now we're going to put all that together. So we're going to draw the shoulder forward. Hug the shoulder up to the ear. Draw it back like you're making a chicken wing, and then reach long through the fingers. Draw the shoulder forward, up to the ear, shoulder back, and then reach down. One more just like that. Shoulder forward, up to the ear, shoulder back, reach down through the fingertips. And now as you reach down through the fingertips, you're going to lift your hand away from your thigh, slide your hand behind you, and palm is going to face backwards. And you're going to see if you can just find the space between your shoulder blades. Take a nice big breath there. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then release that hand, slow and controlled. And now we're going to pick up the top knee. So that top hand is going to hold onto that top knee. Take that top knee, draw it in a couple of circles, go in one direction. Doesn't have to be a huge range of motion. Awesome. And then take that knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Does not have to be a huge range of motion. Cool. And then take that knee, draw it up towards your shoulder. So slightly externally rotated, draw it up towards the shoulder. And now we're going to switch our grip. So you're going to hold on to the back of the leg and take 3 good kicks of the leg up towards the ceiling. You don't have to straighten the leg entirely. We just want to create a little length in the back of the leg. Nice. And then release that leg down with control. And now we're going to flip over to the other side. I'm going to flip all the way over so I'm still facing out to the camera, but you can roll over onto the other side if that feels like a more comfortable way to go. Once you've got yourself there, so we're in that side lying fetal position, knees are bent, bottom arm is straight out from the shoulder, your head is resting on your tool, your pillow, your yoga block, or your blanket, whatever you're working with this morning. Take that top hand, reach palm to palm, and now we're going to take 3 big circles of that arm. Circle in one direction. Awesome. Once you come palm to palm, switch directions, go the other way. Beautiful. Once you come palm to palm, now we're going to open up into a little twist. So we're going to let that top hand reach back. Your head might turn with. You might not get a big range of motion here, but just let that hand be nice and heavy. Take a big breath. Beautiful. And then bring it back down to the hip. And now we're going to move into the shoulder. So we're going to draw the shoulder up to the ear and then reach the fingertips away, drawing the shoulder down. Draw the shoulder up to the ear. Everything else stays stable. Reaching the fingertips down. One more time here. Draw the shoulder up to the ear. Reach the fingertips down, shoulder draws away, and then bring your shoulder back to a neutral position. Shoulder draws forward, and then bring it back. Shoulder rounds forward, and bring it back. Shoulder rounds forward, bring it back to neutral, and now we're going backwards. So we're drawing the shoulder back like we're making a little chicken wing. Bring it back to neutral. Draw the shoulder back. Bring it to neutral. One more time like that. Draw the shoulder back. Nice. Bring it to neutral. Now we'll put it all together. Draw the shoulder up to the ear, round it forward, reach long through the fingertips, and then draw that chicken wing back. Bring the shoulder up to the ear, round it forward, draw it down, and bring it back. One more time around. Bring it up to the shoulder, rounding forward, reaching down, draw it back, and then find that neutral position. That top arm is going to reach behind, palm's going to face backwards. Slide that hand in between your shoulder blades. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then release. Now we're going to pick up that top knee, draw that knee in circles, go in one direction. Doesn't have to be a big range of motion. Beautiful. And then take that knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then take that knee towards the shoulder. So we're externally rotated. Switch your grip, grab the back of the leg, 3 kicks to that leg. You don't have to straighten the leg all the way. We just want to create a little length in the back of the leg. Lovely. And then when you're ready, release that down, rolling back onto your back. And then if you like, just move your prop or your tool, whatever you've got underneath your head, just move it out of the way. Once you found your way back onto your back, walk your feet in. So feet about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt, hands down alongside the hips, palms facing down. Move right into pelvic tilt here. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale to release. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale to release. One more just like that. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. Nice. And then we're going to take 3 rolling bridges. So inhale, curl the tailbone up, roll up through the spine. Once you reach the top, as you exhale, drop your sternum down, roll down with control through your spine, hips touch the ground. Inhale, curl the tailbone up, roll up through your spine, nice and slow. Once you come up as high as you can, as you exhale, drop your sternum down, roll down through the spine, hips touch down, inhale, roll up through the spine. Exhale to roll down. And then once your hips touch down, pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Release that squeeze just a little bit. Take a gentle rock side to side. Awesome. And then we're going to, like we're doing butterflies with our legs. So we're going to keep the feet together, draw the knees out and away from each other, up towards the ceiling, and then pull them back in. So we're going to take a few circles in this direction. Nice. And then take a few circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to hold on to the backs of the thighs, start to find a little rock and roll, rocking tailbone to top of the head. Take a couple of good rocks and rolls here if it feels good to just massage the length of the spine. And then as you catch a little momentum, you're going to come up into a seated ragdoll. So with a nice, generous bend in the knees, feet maybe shoulder distance apart, then take it into a fold. So we're going to lift the belly up and over, make some space for your belly and your chest. Let your hands find a comfortable place to rest and then soften through the back of your neck. Take a nice big inhale here. Nice slow exhale. Two more cycles of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk your hands up your shins. We're going to step the feet a little bit closer so that your feet are solid on the ground. Catch hold of your kneecaps. Move right into a seated cat-cow here. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale to round your back, curl your tailbone, and hang onto the knees so you can just drop into the shoulders a little bit. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale to round back. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Nice. And then lift up to a neutral spine, hands behind you. And now we're going to step the feet a little bit wider so we can take some windshield wipers here. So these windshield wipers might feel just a little bit different from when you're on the ground. You might notice your knees and your inner thighs a little bit more. And with this upright position, then you're massaging out the glutes as well. So take 1 or 2 more each side. Cool. And then when you're ready, we're going to swing it around and find our way into a tabletop position. So swing those legs around in any way that works good for you. And then as you find your way to your tabletop position, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, we're going to take our table and draw it in some circles. So circle in one direction. Beautiful. Take your table, draw it in circles, go the other way. Nice. One more circle around in this direction. And then big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come to extended child's pose, butt back to the heels, belly, chest drop down, reach actively through the fingers. So rather than softening through the arms, find a little energetic reach through the fingertips. Take a nice big breath. Notice your arms, your shoulders, and the space between your shoulder blades. Take one more breath. And then we're going to lift slightly, keeping the spine neutral or keeping the spine straight. Take your right hand, thread it through. Think arm across the chest stretch. So we're going to thread that hand through, but keep the spine straight, make some space for that arm, and then drop your butt back towards your heels. Notice your right shoulder, your deltoid, the top of the shoulder. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Lift your hips slightly away from your heels, unlace that arm. We're going to take it right to the other side. So left hand is going to thread through, just coming straight across the chest, keeping the spine straight or neutral, and then draw your butt back towards your heels. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Lift your butt away from your heels, unthread that arm, start to lift back up into your tabletop position, walking your knees in, so knees in line with the hips, curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels, and then come forward into your tabletop position. Reposition toes if you need to, but then when you're ready, pull butt back to heels, come forward into your tabletop. One more time, just like that, pull your butt back toward your heels, come forward into tabletop position, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, lift up slightly so you can slide your arms in. We're going to move our way down to a Sphinx position. So elbows in line with the shoulders, hands in a parallel position. Once you've got your arms set up, step your feet to the back edge of your mat, floating through a low plank, broadening your shoulders, firming up your abdomen. And then once you've found that low plank, take a breath there. And then when you're ready, release your knees down to the ground. Draw your tailbone towards your heels, create some space in your low back as you hug the shoulder blades in towards each other so that your heart comes forward slightly. Press up through the crown of your head. Press your hip bones down into the ground. Take one nice big inhale here. Slow exhale. Beautiful. And now we're going to walk the elbows out nice and wide so we can lower down onto the belly. And we're going to take 3 scorpion twists to each side here. So right hand is going to reach out from the shoulder. Roll onto the right, step your left foot behind you, bring it back to center, left arm reaches out, right hand comes in, roll over onto the left, step that right foot behind you. Beautiful, bring it back to the belly, right hand out, left hand comes in, roll over onto the right, come back in with control, left hand reaches out, right hand comes in, roll over to the left. Beautiful, back onto the belly, and then one more time each side, reach the right hand out, roll over onto the right, bring it back in, left hand out, right hand comes in, roll over to the left. Beautiful. And then as you come back to center, both hands alongside the shoulders, elbows soften at the ribs, readjust anything that you need to. I find those scorpion twists get me moving one way or the other down on my mat. So anything that needs readjusting, take a second to do it. And then we're going to take our 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to soften down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. One more time here. Inhale, lift. Exhale to soften down. Beautiful. Push your way up into a tabletop position. We're going to curl both toes under, pull the butt back to the heels, get a nice gentle stretch to the toes and the bottoms of feet, but stay here for an extra second or two. If it feels good to do so, rock your hips a little bit side to side, but only if that feels good to you. Nice. Take one more little rock of the hips side to side. And then as you inhale, come forward into table, keep the toes curled under. Exhale, find your way up to downward facing dog. And then maybe take a few pedals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Beautiful. Take one more pedal of each leg, or just kind of even yourself out. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart. Let everything dangle here. Soften the knees, soft through the back of the body. If it feels good to do so, grab your elbows, let your spine dangle. Take a nice deep inhale. Slow exhale, just getting a little heavier towards the earth. One more breath. Beautiful. And then relax your fingers towards the ground, keeping that bent over position. We're going to pedal the legs here. So you're going to bend one knee and then straighten the other, which means one hip is going to reach up towards the sky and then the other. Trying to keep that folded position as best you can, and then trying to keep your head heavy as well. So your gaze is still at the back of your mat. Beautiful. Take one more pedal of each leg and then bend both knees as you come to center. Pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, nice and slow and controlled. As you come up, roll your shoulders up to your ears, roll them around, down and back, and then we'll do that again. Inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears, roll them around, down and back. One more time in this direction. Inhale, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, roll them around, down and back, and then we're going to reverse directions. So draw the shoulders back, lift them up to the ears and round forward, draw the shoulders back, lift them up to the ears, round forward. One more time in this direction. Awesome. Then take the right hand, reach up, pat yourself on the back, just finding that nice little space in between the shoulder blades coming from the top. If it's available, you're going to take your left hand, grab that right elbow, bring it in a little bit closer. But if that causes everything to round forward, then you're not going to do that. You're going to just get a handhold that works appropriately so you can still stay in an upright position and your head is straight forward. Take one good breath. Wonderful. And then if you've got hold of that elbow, go ahead and let it go. Release your arms down, shrug them out, and we'll do that to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up, touch the space between the shoulders. That might be enough. You might be there and you stay there and you're happy. If it feels good to do so, right hand's going to grab that elbow. You're going to bring it in just a little bit closer if that feels good. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your handhold from that elbow. Let your arms float down, and we're going to take both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles down. Pull the arms slightly away from the back of the body, gaze forward. Pause for a moment to notice. And then lift your chin upward towards the sky and then make your little bulldog chin, like you're jutting your chin up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath. Cool. And then release your chin. Come down to a neutral position with the head. Release your arms. Give everything a little wiggle, a little shake. Make sure it all feels good. And then find mountain pose at the top of the mat. So stepping your feet maybe slightly closer, toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet firm and anchored on the ground, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, but push the palms down. Lift your chin up. Lower your chin to neutral. Unlace your fingers, let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, interlace your fingers the weird way, press the palms down, shoulders glide down, lift your chin up. Release your chin to neutral, unlace your fingers, let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down and back. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then as you come back to your mountain pose, can you find a lift from the soles of the feet? So think that you're pulling your big toe back towards your heels, lifting that energy up the legs, up through the front of your body, up through the crown of your head. And once you found it, pause here just for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, that's totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping both feet back to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of each leg. And then when you're ready, pick up both heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position, right into spinal balance. Reach the right leg out, left hand forward. Beautiful. Release that down. Switching to the other side, left leg, right hand. Awesome. Releasing that all down. Curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up to three-legged dog, but keep your hips square, keep your shoulders square just to find a little stability. So you might not find a lot of height. Release that foot down, switch to the other side. Left leg is going to reach up. Release that foot down, look forward, soften your knees, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're going to come to warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. And then as you come to that warrior two position, just take a second and kind of wiggle around. Make sure that your weight feels like it's evenly distributed between both legs. Check your front knee. Make sure it's drawing towards that pinky toe so that inner thigh is nice and active. And then can you find that lift from the soles of the feet again? Draw energy up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips. So every inch of your body is nice and alive. Reach through the fingertips, gaze forward nice and strong. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then keeping this position, all we're going to do is focus on that front foot. So your left foot should be forward. You're going to see if you can lift just the left toes and the balls of the feet and let everything else stay as stable as you can. And then release the toes and the balls of the feet back down. Lift the front toes and the balls of the feet. Release it down. One more just like that. Lift the front toes and the balls of the feet. Beautiful. Release it down. And now we're going to move right into triangle pose. So straighten that front leg. Pop the back hip out. Reach long through the torso. So you might find the thigh, the shin, the floor. You might use your block. Any tool that works good for you. And then bottom ribs are going to pull forward. Top ribs are reaching up towards the sky. Top hand reaches up. Maybe you turn your head and look up. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift back up, reverse your triangle. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to that top hand. And then we're going to spin it all down to the ground. So cartwheel your hands down, pivot your back heel, come into your runner's lunge, take one good breath, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes at the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale to lower down. Power up to a plank or find your way up to a tabletop position and then lift up to downward facing dog. Right leg three-legged dog. We're going to keep the hips square, shoulders square, so you're not going to get a lot of height. Take one good breath. And then we're going to lift. So that back heel is going to lift as you hike that leg up as high as you can. Step it through to the top of the mat or just as far as it goes and then help it along the rest of the way. Once you've got your runner's lunge, gaze forward, take one good breath. Beautiful. Step that back foot up to meet so you come to forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back. We're taking warrior two to the other side. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. And then once you come to that warrior two position, just take a second. Make sure everything feels like the weight is nice and evenly distributed. That front knee is actively pulling towards the pinky toe. Arms nice and strong. And then we're lifting energy from the soles of the feet, up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips, gaze forward, take a breath. Wonderful. And then in this nice strong position, that front leg is what we're focusing on. We're just going to lift the toes and the balls of the feet. Everything else is going to stay where it is. Release it back down. Lift the toes and the balls of the feet. And then release it back down. Lift the toes and the balls of the foot. Release it back down. Move right into your triangle pose. Straighten that front leg. Pop the back hip out. Reach long through the torso. So you might find the thigh, the shin, the floor, your big toe, or your yoga block. Bottom ribs pull forward. Top ribs reach up towards the sky. Left hand extends up. And then if it's comfortable to your head and your neck, you'll turn and look up towards the ceiling. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift up with control. Dropping that left hand down, reaching that right hand up. Look to the right hand. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to spin everything down to the ground. So you're going to bend that front knee, pivot your back heel, finding your way through that runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here as high as you like. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Either power up to a plank or take it through a tabletop and then find your way up to that downward facing dog. Left leg into three-legged dog. We're going to keep the shoulders square and the hips square so you might not get a super height. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift it super high, letting that back heel lift with you, and then step that foot through to the top of your mat, just as far as it goes. Help it along the rest of the way. Nice. Once you've found it, heart forward, look forward, take a breath, and then hop that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Pick your right knee up. Flex your foot. Raise your arms up and overhead like you're holding a beach ball. Take one good breath. Keep your arms up and overhead if you can. Set your right foot down with control. Shift over to your right foot. Pick your left knee up. Flex the foot. Keep reaching actively up through the fingertips. Take one good breath. Beautiful. Set that foot down. Hold on to that beach ball. Exhale, sink into a chair. Holding that chair position, shift your weight slightly over onto your left foot. Pick your right knee up. Set that right foot down. Shift your weight over to your right foot. Pick your left knee up. Set that left foot down. Stick in that chair pose. Take one good breath. And then on your next exhale, fold everything down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position, back to that spinal balance. Left hand, right leg are going to reach out. Beautiful. Release that down with control. Switch to the other side. Left leg, right hand are going to reach out. Nice. Release it down with control. Both hands are going to stay on the ground. We're going to reach the right leg back, cow face prep. So we're going to take the left toes, swing them over to the right, tuck the right knee behind the left. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Head stays in a neutral position. Inhale and come forward. Awesome. Pull your butt back to your heels. Head's going to turn to the left. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Inhale, come forward. Head comes to that neutral position. Unwind your legs. Take a second to come into your tabletop. Rock out anything that you need to. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out. Right toes over to the left. Tuck that left knee behind the right. So knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite direction. Once you've got your way there, pull your butt back toward your heels. Head in a neutral position. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, turn your head to the left. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Inhale, come forward. Head finds that neutral position. Unlace your legs. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Right leg is going to come up into three-legged dog. This time we're going to bend the knee. Let the hip roll open. Circle your foot 3 times in one direction. Circle your foot 3 times, go the other way. Beautiful. Release that leg down with control and then readjust anything that you need. We're going to take it to the other side. So left leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Beautiful. Release that foot down with control. Gaze forward. Walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Get yourself situated in your mountain pose at the top of your mat. My pants are a little loosey-goosey this morning. Once you found your mountain pose, gaze forward, shoulders soften down, little life into the fingertips. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, raise your arms up. Hands are going to meet. Chest is going to lift. Hips come forward slightly as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Find that nice strong position. Front foot, pick up the toes and the balls of the feet. Release that down. Press firm into that front foot as you straighten the front leg right into your triangle pose. Pop the back hip out, reach long through the torso. Bottom ribs pull forward, top ribs reach up. Look to the sky, take one good breath. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift yourself up with control, reverse your triangle. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Spin it all down to the ground as you bend that front knee, pivot your back heel. Beautiful, plant the palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale to lower down. We're going to push our way up into a tabletop position. Knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. Taking the right leg, left hand, reach out into spinal balance. Release your left hand down, swing your left toes over to the right side of your mat. Take that right knee, tuck it behind the left. Pull your butt back towards your heels, and then see how it feels to sit all the way back. Cow face pose is not a pose for everybody, but if it feels comfortable to be here, you can take a second to kind of scoot your knees around, make sure they feel like they're in a good and comfortable position. Left knee should be on top, so left hand is going to reach behind you, touch the space between your shoulders. Right hand is going to reach palm facing out, find the other space behind the shoulders. Once you've got that position, we're going to take one breath. Lean your heart forward. Release, reach through the crown of your head as you come up. Release your hands. Let both hands touch the soles of the feet. Take one good breath. Beautiful. And then hands free or use your hands on the ground to help push your way forward into your tabletop position. Unlace your legs. Take a second to bop everything out. And then when you're ready, toes curled under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts, hips come forward as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Left hand picks you up. Once you've found your strong position here, inhale, lift the front toes and the balls of the feet. Exhale to lower them down. Straighten that front leg, pop the back hip out, reaching long through the torso, find your triangle pose. Thigh, shin, or floor, whatever works good for you. Bottom ribs pull forward, top ribs reach up. Look to the sky, take one good breath. Strong legs, strong side body, lift up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, reverse your triangle. Beautiful, and then spin those hands down to the ground. Bend your front knee, pivot your back heel. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Right hand, left leg are going to reach out. Spinal balance. Keep that leg lifted. Lower your hand down to the ground. Swing your right toes over to the left. Tuck your left knee behind the right. And then pull your butt back toward your heels. If it's available, you're going to sit all the way back. Readjust your knees as needed with that right leg on top. Right hand is going to come up high, reaching behind you, finding the shoulder blades. Other hand is going to flip, palm facing backwards, and find the space between your shoulder blades. If your hands can clasp, that's awesome, but we're not staying here too long. So if this feels like a comfortable position, take one good breath as you lean the heart forward. Beautiful. Lift up with control. Release your arms. Let your hands find the soles of the feet. Take one good breath here. Nice. And then when you're ready, use your hands or don't use your hands, totally up to you. But you're going to find your way up into that tabletop position. Unlace your legs, take a second, bop everything out that you need to. When you're ready, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of the mat. And now we're gonna roll our way down into a little ball of yarn. So keep your hands on the ground, bend your knees, pick your heels up, lower your butt towards your heels. Spread your toes as wide as you can. And then just for a moment, if you can find a little balance here, lift your hands away from the floor, find a nice tall spine, take one good breath. Beautiful. And then bring your hands down to the ground, set your butt down. We're going to take a little bit of abdominal work to find our way down to the ground, but just have your rolled up blanket or your pillow or your yoga block just nearby so that you'll be able to grab it with your hands. Curl your tailbone under. We're going to come down with control. Imagine you're pulling your belly button towards your spine. Keep that pulled in position with control. Roll your way down as slow as you can. You might hit a tipping point where your body wants to collapse onto the floor. Stay in control, even at that point. Beautiful. And then as your back finds the ground, give a second, get yourself all set up, walk your heels in a little bit closer to the butt. We're going to take 3 crunches here. So hands behind the head, interlace your fingers. Your hands are just going to support the head. So keep a slight space between your chin and your chest. And then take a big inhale. As you exhale, pull the abdominal muscles down, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Hold that squeeze for just a moment. Inhale, release back down to the ground. Exhale, pull the abdominal muscles up, or pull the muscles in, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Inhale to release back down. One more just like that. Exhale, pull the abdominal muscles down, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Inhale to release down. Beautiful. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Set your feet down. And now we're going to take our little rolled up towel, our pillow, our yoga block. You're going to lift your hips up and you're going to slide your tool, whatever you're using, underneath your hip bones. So it's a supported bridge to start. So we're going to find it underneath those nice, strong, supportive hip bones, underneath your tailbone. Make sure it feels like it's really good and supportive and you could relax all your muscles in this position. Once you've got your way there, just for a moment, let your hands come out at your sides, let your shoulder heads relax, let your arms relax. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Bring the right knee up into a semi-tabletop position, and then we're going to bring the left knee up to meet, and then check in right away. Make sure that your tool feels comfortable underneath you. If you're using a yoga block, I would suggest having it on the lowest setting to start. And then if it feels like you're just not getting quite enough work, flip it to the medium setting, but make sure it's stable underneath you. Once you've got this semi-tabletop position, you're just going to stretch both legs sort of up towards the sky, but keep a super generous bend in the knees. Let everything be soft and heavy. So not too much efforting here. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Wonderful. Now we're going to pull the right knee into the chest as we extend the left leg nice and long. So pull that right knee in, get your little handhold, extend your left leg, flex your left foot. Once you've got hold of the right knee, left foot is flexed, release your left hand, reach it up and overhead or alongside your ear. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then we're going to switch. We're going to pull the left knee in, extending the right leg nice and long. Flex your right foot. Once you've got that position, right hand is going to release and reach up alongside your ear. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to release, pulling both knees back towards the chest, a little semi-handhold. Release your hold from your knees. Float your feet up towards the sky. Soft position with the knees. Take a nice big breath. Bend your knees, float your feet down to the ground. And now we're going to walk both feet nice and long. So if you need to readjust your prop that's underneath you, take a second to do it. And then walk your feet nice and long to the end of your mat. Flex your feet. Check in. So we're shooting to find a little stretch or sensation through the front of the hips or where your front pockets would be. Once you feel like you've found that, flexing the feet, reaching through the heels, take both arms, reach them up and overhead. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Wonderful. Release your hands back down into whatever comfortable position works for you, maybe anatomical position about 45 degrees away from the body. Step your feet in as we come back into that supported bridge. And then once you found your way here, just give a second. Let your hips relax, let your belly soften. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. Push firm into your feet, lift your hips up away from your tool. You're going to move your blanket, your block, or your pillow, whatever you've got going on, move it out from underneath you. And then with control, release your hips down to the ground. Pause for a moment, take a breath. Wonderful. And now we're going to move right into supine twist. So pull your right knee back into your chest, extend your left leg nice and long, and then take that knee over and across the body to the left. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Head turns to the right. Take 3 inhales here. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest. Left knee is going to come into meet, a little hug, a little squeeze, and then hold on to that left knee. Let your right leg go nice and long, supine twist to the other side. Take that left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens wide, head turns to the left if that feels good. 3 cycles of breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest. Right knee comes into meet. We're going to take those knees back into that butterfly situation. So we're going to draw the knees in circles going in one direction. And then when you're ready, draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Awesome. Hug your knees into your chest just slightly and then release your feet down to the ground. And we're going to just take a fetal position one side and then the other just to feel out our shoulders. So roll over onto your right side. You don't need your prop for this one. Take your left hand, palm facing backwards, slide it behind you. See if you can find that space between your shoulder blades. You might be super happy here, but if it feels available, you're going to roll back onto your back, keeping that hand behind you. Take one big breath. Beautiful. And then roll back onto your right side to release that hand. And then we're going to take that all the way over to the other side. So roll over onto your left, right hand, palm facing backwards is going to sweep behind you, finding that space between your shoulder blades. You might be happy here. If it feels good and you want to try it out, rolling back onto your back as you keep that hand pinned between your shoulder blades. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then when you feel ready, roll back over onto your left, releasing that hand, and then rolling back onto your back just so that you can sort of wiggle everything into place. Make sure your shoulders feel good, hips feel happy. If you need a couple of windshield wipers here, maybe take a moment to do that. But then ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to come to constructive rest, letting the knees drop in towards each other can be super supportive to the low back. Would you like to take it into reclined cobbler's pose? And especially if you've got your yoga blanket, you can wrap it around your feet and tuck the blanket under your hips so that it offers you a really nice supportive system, or any other thing that works good for you here that gets you nice and comfy and cozy. And then once you found your way there, maybe you close your eyes down, maybe you just soften your gaze. And then just give your body a moment, let it find its way. Work out all those little wiggles, make sure everything feels comfortable. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Wake up your fingers, wake up your toes. If it feels good to do so, gently rock your head side to side. It can be a small range of motion, doesn't have to be to your edge, but just start to wake up the back of the neck and massage out the back of your head. And then if you've got any props, your blanket, your block, whatever you've been using, maybe just set it off to the side and then start to find your way into a good morning stretch. Stretch your legs nice and long, reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then in your own way, at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe coming up to Sukhasana with legs crossed or any other seat that lets you sit up nice and tall. Nice. And then once you found your way up to that nice tall seated position with your head, your heart, and your hips in line, so it feels like your back is up against an imaginary wall, let your shoulders soften down. Let your hands be nice and heavy. Close your eyes down if that feels comfortable. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Bring both hands to the belly. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Bring those hands right on top of the heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then keeping your hands stacked on your heart, bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.